It is February 2024 in Stockholm. A payments company publishes a press release that the entire technology industry will pass around like a trophy. Its new AI assistant, the release says, is already doing the work of 700 full-time customer service agents, 2.3 million conversations, 23 markets in its first month. The company is Klarna, and its chief executive, Sebastian Siemiatkowski, is about to become the loudest voice on earth for a very simple proposition, that you can subtract the humans. This is the story of what happened next. To understand why Klarna wanted this story so badly, you have to rewind. 2005, three friends in Stockholm found a company to make online payments simple. By 2021, it is Europe's most valuable startup, now $45 billion. Then the market turns. Klarna's product is buy now, pay later, splitting a purchase into installments, free if you pay on time. It is a business built on volume, on margins thin as paper, and on a decade of free money. When interest rates were zero, growth was the only metric that mattered. Then, in 2022, the free money ended. In one funding round, 85% of its valuation evaporates. 45 billion becomes 6.7. And inside a company that just lost that much paper value, cost-cutting stops being a project, it becomes a religion. So when the AI assistant arrives, it is not a technology story, it is a salvation story. And the numbers are real. 2.3 million conversations handled, 35 languages, a projected $40 million of profit improvement in a single year. The assistant itself was real engineering. Built with OpenAI, one of the first major brand deployments anywhere. It could handle refunds, returns, payment issues in any market at any hour. The press release was not a lie. That is precisely what made it dangerous. Klarna announces it has essentially stopped hiring. Why would you hire? The machine works. Headcount drifts down by 1,000. The chief executive says out loud what other executives only whisper, AI can already do all of the jobs. Pause on the number for a second, because 700 is not a number, it is 700 people. Most of them agents at outsourced service partners, scattered across time zones, the people who answered when somebody's payment failed at 2 a.m. Nobody held a press conference for them. In the trophy press release, they appear exactly once as a unit of savings. Hold that thought, because this story ends with Klarna recruiting people who love the company to do the same job. And the world applauds. The case study travels through every boardroom on earth. For a full year, Klarna is the proof, the one company with the courage to actually do the thing. And on paper, it worked. The cost per conversation collapsed. So here is the question. This case file exists to answer. Why, 18 months later, was the same company quietly begging humans to come back? Every system optimizes for the number you point it at. Klarna pointed its system at one number, cost per interaction. And that number behaved beautifully. It went down and kept going down. But a customer who reaches support is not a cost. They are a person, mid-problem, often mid-crisis. A disputed charge, a payment that vanished, money. What the dashboard called resolution, customers experience as being handled. By early 2026, the pattern was undeniable. Customer satisfaction had deteriorated, exactly where it matters most. The complex cases, and the savings the press release had projected, they never fully materialized. Why did quality crack? Because language models have what researchers call a jagged frontier. Inside it, they are brilliant. Just outside it, they produce confident, fluent, wrong answers. And a frightened customer with a frozen account is almost always outside it. The bot didn't know what it didn't know, and it answered anyway. And the hidden costs compounded in the dark. Repeat contacts because the first answer didn't hold. Escalations with no one senior left to take them. Humans rechecking machine output. This is exactly what Forrester would later find across the whole economy. The institutional knowledge walks out, and the verification overhead walks in. Here is the layer Klarna cut, in the language of our framework, the human experience layer, the customer-facing edge, the one place where a company's brand actually lives. It is the last place a serious company cuts. Klarna cut it first. Don't take my word for it. Take his. By 2025, Sebastian Siemiatkowski said it himself. Cost had become too dominant a factor in the evaluation. And what you end up having, he admitted, is lower quality. The timing turns confession into farce. Klarna had sold this efficiency story straight into its 2025 public offering on the New York Stock Exchange and was quietly unwinding it within months of the opening bell. Step back, and the whole sequence is one loop, running exactly as designed. Cut the people, bank the savings, degrade the edge, watch the trust leave, then discover that trust was the product. Because here's the thing nobody at Klarna got wrong. The AI worked. The mistake was never the machine, it was the arithmetic. AI is not a subtraction machine, it is a multiplier. It multiplies whatever you point it at. Point it at people doing work that compounds, and it compounds them. Point it at a headcount you are trying to delete, and it returns exactly what you aimed it at, less. So Klarna starts calling humans back, not as an apology tour, as a redesign. The new hiring is remote and flexible, what the company itself calls an Uber-style model. And look at who they recruit: students, people in rural areas, and devoted Klarna users, people who already care. Inside the company, something more interesting happens. Staff get redeployed into customer service from marketing, from engineering, from legal. The function that was deleted as a cost becomes the function everyone is pulled towards, because that is where the customer actually is. The model that survives is a hybrid. The machine takes the routine, the order status, the password reset, the 90% that never needed a person. Humans take the escalations, the complex cases, the moments where money and fear are in the same sentence. And notice what the hybrid model quietly concedes. The escalation, the angry customer, the frozen account, the moment where fear and money share a sentence, is not an edge case to be minimized. It is the single highest stakes moment a brand has. The machine buys you the volume, the human buys you the trust. You need both, in that order. And in 2026, Klarna stopped being a special case. Gartner reports 80% of organizations cut workforce without finding the return. Forrester finds 55% of employers already regret their AI-driven cuts. The whole economy is running Klarna's experiment, on a 2-year delay. Want to see the same technology with the opposite arithmetic? IBM automated 94% of its routine HR work. The headlines screamed 8,000 jobs replaced. The real number, by its own chief executive, a couple of hundred. And total employment went up because the hours saved were poured into programmers, sellers, builders. Same machine. Multiplication instead of subtraction. Meanwhile, the companies in the 5% did something quieter. They took the hours the machines handed back and poured them into work that compounds. The building, the selling, the inventing, same technology, opposite arithmetic. Remember that press release? The trophy? Go read it today. It has the energy of a wedding speech given the week before the divorce. And yet, this is not a story about AI failing. The technology did everything it was asked to do. It answered 2.3 million conversations. It just couldn't answer the question Klarna never asked. What are the humans for? And if you are watching this from inside a company that is running the same play right now, the hiring freeze, the quiet headcount drift, the dashboard that only shows the savings, you are not watching Klarna's history, you're watching your own future on a 2-year delay. The good news is that the rebuild is also already written. Our answer is the line this whole channel is built on. Work is for bots, life is for humans. The machine takes the routine so that people can do the part that was always theirs. The judgment, the care, the trust. Klarna deleted that part and the market sent it back. 3 lessons from the file. 1. Never cut the edge where your brand lives. It is the last place, not the first. 2. If cost is your only metric, quality is your hidden casualty. 3. Redeploy the hours the machine returns. Subtraction is the strategy the evidence keeps killing. This was Case File 3, the third body in the morgue, and the one every executive should study twice. There are 5 more files coming, and the next one involves a chatbot, an airline, and a court of law.